If you're a plumbing company and you wanted to get 400 leads, well, this is one way to do it, but you need to rethink your strategy on leads and how to actually serve your market in order to take advantage of this campaign. But we're going to go over a campaign that you can use later on in the year or even next year, because this is what we ran for Mother's Day, where we got $5 leads. And so for a $2,000 budget, that's 400 homeowners. Let's talk about it. I'm Tyler Williams and I run a marketing agency for plumbers. We've got a number of clients. We do a number of different campaigns. Today, we're going to go over what the results were and why you would use one of these campaigns for a plumbing company. And so this is something, sure, take the secrets, go execute on it yourself if you want. But I like to talk about marketing. So let's dive in. One of the biggest challenges that plumbers have is, of course, leads, like lead flow, right? And everybody goes straight to lead generation. And there absolutely is a need for that to some degree. So, you hop on your Thumbtacks, your Angies, your Yelps, and then your LSAs and your Google PPCs. Those are your main sort of things. And what they end up doing, though, is all of that money goes into, maybe anywhere from like $30 to $100 leads. And one of the challenges that we have is that the clients who only do lead generation, if demand is soft, they have no way to generate extra demand because those are intent-based searches. And so when demand softens, you can't ask to have more because it is initiated only by the user. Now, there is a type of campaign that you can run that initiates you are the initiator in order to try and go out and find those people. So they're not the searcher, you're the searcher. It's a very proactive way of marketing. And I think that people get too far one zone and not the other. So what you can do is, it's very basic, honestly. So for Mother's Day, we had a number of clients who wanted Mother's Day campaigns. So what you can do is you can create something that your customer wants in order to get their contact information. And then when things get slow, you have the ability to leverage that contact information to create more work for you because you were willing previously to build a list of homeowners inside of your market. So we ended up doing this over Mother's Day because it's a good trigger point. Anytime where you can go out and you can meet the market with what they're already thinking about, well, you're going to win. So we created a contest. I don't even know what the details were of what they could win, but it was a contest where people could opt in to win something. And what you choose has to be something that they care about. You cannot do a $150 off your next plumbing repair because you're a plumber. That is so self-serving that nobody actually wants to do it. But what you can do is something like, hey, we're giving away, I'm just spitballing here, we're giving away a day at the spa that you can give to your mom on Mother's Day. Or I want to sign my mom up for this, right? So what you can end up doing is targeting the right kind of person for this. And so if you end up looking at your targeting options in Facebook, you know that you're going to get people who are cluing into Mother's Day, and you can set your age targets. So set your age targets to from 30 to 60, right? The chances of a 30 to 60-year-old who has a mother that they want to treat to a spa day and they happen to be a homeowner is much higher, right? So what you end up doing is then targeting the neighborhoods where it's primarily single family dwellings. So then you can end up saying, well, you know what, this neighborhood, I really want to get more work inside of this neighborhood. So I'm going to target this as best as I can. And on Facebook, you can go down to a 1 mile radius when you pick your targeting. So now you're getting and then you could say women or men, right? So you can, or both, right? So you can narrow that down even further. So ultimately what you're doing is you're trying to get them to sign up to a contest so you can collect their information, so you can make good on the contest, but then you can do extra little things for the people to get them further into your world. So if for everybody who didn't win, send them a $5 gift card. $5 coffee card, right? Just something small. Be like, hey, thanks for entering. We really appreciate you. Here is $5 off at the local coffee shop. Next time you need any plumbing help, we'd be happy to talk. Right. And what you're doing is you're building an association. It does cost you a little bit of money because you got the ad spends and then you got the coffee card and then you've got the contest that you actually need to do. You give away the contest. And by the way, every time you do a contest, you should talk it up left and right. You do the contest ends. You've talked about the contest multiple times, you're running ads for the contest, and then you end up with hey, we're going to pick the winner. We're going to announce it over here. Stay tuned over here, right? And then you could do a live video going out, which will notify all your followers and things like that. Like if with any of these things, you can just do the thing, or you can become a publisher of the thing, and that's really important. A lot of people don't want to take the extra legwork to do that extra stuff, but it does push you further into the psyche of the market you're trying to tap. Then you give away your thing. You can post about it. You can go get a selfie with the person as you're giving away this basket of spa goods and a spa gift certificate, right? Make it substantial. Make it something worth entering. And boom, what do you get out of it? You've got names and email addresses, possibly phone numbers of a market that you want to gain some more traction in. So you have a couple options now with that list. If it's $5 per sign up that you paid for, you're looking at a 400-person list. And if you do this multiple times throughout the year, you could easily have a 3,000 to 5,000 person list, right? So that list should always be growing. You always want a prospect list. Everybody looks for a customer list, and I want you to have a prospect list because then you have so many more options. One of the best things you can do if you have a slow period is to email your prospects and your customers and just say, hey, it's slow. We have some room on the schedule. If you need any work done, we're running a special. And the bigger your list is, because you've been running these contests in order to gather this information, the bigger this list is, the better chance that you actually have somebody fall through the end of the tunnel and say, yeah, I do need work done. And then you're able to fill your own schedule by you being proactive later. And you don't have to go, oh my God, we're like, we just can't spend enough on our lead gen because demand is super soft. Well, now you get to control how you go out into market. You don't have to wait for Google. You don't have to wait for Angie's or Thumbtack to activate. Instead, what you're doing is you're sending emails and text messages out to this list of 5,000, 20,000 people saying, hey, if there's something, think of us. And that you got to be careful about opt-ins and can spam laws and all this stuff. Okay. So there's some things on the back end that you need to be careful about when it comes to marketing and marketing lawfully and marketing ethically. But this is the step that a lot of people don't do. And then they end up always spending their money on things like PPC and LSA. And then when those things don't perform well, they end up a creek without a paddle, right? You've got a lot of options. This was a Mother's Day. You could do any major holiday. You can do something around. You can also just throw contests just for the fun of it. You can be like, hey, moms, enter a picture of your kids drawing of our mascot. If you've got a nice cartoony mascot, right? Have your kids draw a picture, enter it, and we will give a kid a $250 Lego set, right? You're going to have a whole bunch of moms sign up. Moms tend to be homeowners. So then you built more of your list, and you just need to do it often and do it more often than you think, because one of the challenges about something like this is people severely underestimate the scale that they need to have the result that they want. We ran, $5 leads, $2,000, and it got 400 leads. If we sent out an email and text message to each one of those 2 months later, it might be crickets. But what if it wasn't 400? What if it was 30,000? My number keeps going up, if you noticed. Like, that makes a big difference. And then, you can start to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people like raise their hand and go, yeah, I would like that. So those are the things that I want you to be thinking about. there's a place for marketing that is not that is lead generation, but it's not the I want a plumber right now. There's a place for you to know who is in the market and who you can start developing relationships with through marketing initiatives like this. So keep that in mind. If you want some of my team to talk to you about your marketing, you could just go to mammothforplumbers.com and we'd be happy to do a 1 hour consult with you and give you an idea of, well, here's where we think you should focus. So do me a favor, run some contests, get creative, and build yourself a list. You'll love it when you have it. We'll see you on the next one.